Good evening, everyone. Before the start of the official meeting, we're going to have a couple of presentations, and I wanted to ask Councilman Dwayne Gregory if he wouldn't mind coming up for a special presentation as a result of the kindness and generosity of all of the residents of the town and those who participated in the Wounded Warrior Soldier Ride back in July. And I'll turn over to Dwayne.
Great, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Every year since 2008, we've had the Soldier Ride, and we have a local nonprofit that some of the proceeds go to. So we have representatives from the Paws of War here today. Going to ask them to come up. We have Gail Holt, Ray Meyer, and Mike Colano. All right. Sure. Bring whoever you want. And I was going to mention Tom, but I'm glad you brought it up. And Mr. Ronayne, Tom Ronayne, former Director of Veteran Services for Suffolk County, is here as well.
And of course, our own town employee. Thank you.
So again, the Soldier Ride was started way before I got here, but in 2008. Since 2008, we have raised $1.6 million. Last year, with the generosity of our residents and sponsors, we were able to raise, it was our highest raise in a single year, $178,000. So congratulations. So we have this check. We have fighting with the microphone. We have a check of $25,000 that we wanted to present to the organization today. Congratulations.
And while Dwayne is presenting, I wanted to recognize one of our own town employees, Matt Humph. Matt served in the United States Army in Afghanistan. In fact, he was on the last plane out of Afghanistan at the Kabul airport. And he is training Echo. Everyone around town has got to meet Echo. In fact, Echo was there the day of the Soldier Ride. And Matt works in Department of Public Works in street lighting. Thank you, Matt, for your service. Does anybody want to say anything? Echo, you want to say anything?
Well, the most important thing is somebody like Matt and Echo, for everyone who participated in this race, and of course for the town, and Supervisor Schaefer, and all the leadership here that makes this happen year after year after year. It is making a significant difference for the community like you can't believe. So please continue, and we're blessed to be the participant this year. Thank you so much.
Did you really? Yeah, you're all here, yeah. Good? Get close.
Yeah. Sit.
You need business now.
Good boy.
Okay, very good.
The center of attention.
Beautiful, guys. I'm going to take a couple. 1, 2, and again. Nice, nice. is an Echo with the best smile. Good, thanks.
Yeah, everything we do is rescue. Getting more rescue shepherds.
That's why I never got into shepherd. I had to get a No, they said that they have these elements. Yeah, man. How are you? Yeah. It's a rarity, right? How are you?
We were just talking about it.
She was at Liberty Village. Beautiful. That's right.
See you guys.
Thank you so much. You got my card, right? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
See you then.
Thank you again.
Either the last board meeting or the one. He said this should be going to, right? Coastal erosion
Well, they're doing it.
today.
So just before we get started, we have a couple of minutes before we can officially start at 7, but if you're here to address the board, we would ask you to come up front and fill out a card that's on the table here and turn it into our town clerk so that we can call you up during the respective portion. So if you're interested in addressing the board, you need to fill out a card up front and file it with our clerk. And that can be, you could be addressing the board during any of the public hearings that are scheduled for this evening, the agenda, which is on the, copies are on the table up front, or open portion when you can come forward so you can address the board on the drainage issues during the open portion. And I'll call you up then. I have one card so far. I'm sorry, Hyo-In Kwan? Not right now, but yeah, but if you want to address the board, you need to fill out the card and turn it in up. Yes, and just bring it up front here. Thank you.
Right here.
Yes, right over there. Thank you. Yeah, those are, this is about Yukon Court. Okay, just before we start again, I know several people came in. For tonight's meeting, there are public hearings scheduled. If you're interested in addressing the board on the public hearings, we ask you to come up front, fill out a card, and file it with our town clerk. You can also address the board on the resolutions that are on the agenda for tonight, and there are copies of the resolutions on the agenda up front. And also, you can come forward and address the board on any matters that are not on the agenda tonight. That's called the open portion. And we ask you to fill out a card, excuse me, and file it with our town clerk as well before we start the official meeting. Okay, could I ask everyone to please rise for a salute to the flag? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd ask you to all please remain standing for a moment of silence. I'd ask that you keep in your thoughts and prayers the brave servicemen and women serving our country, both here and abroad. Thank you. Please be seated. Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta?
Here.
Councilman Martinez?
Here.
Councilman McSweeney?
Here.
Councilman Gregory? Here. Supervisor Schaefer?
And I am here. So all five are present. We have a quorum. This is the Wednesday, September 18th, 2024 meeting of the Babylon Town Board at 7 p.m. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel live at this time, you can click on the link. That'll take you to tonight's agenda. It has a list of the public hearings as well as the resolutions that are on the agenda. You can utilize that link to send us a message or a comment or a question. If you're watching us on the YouTube channel at a future day and time, you can still utilize that link. It will be live, and you can send us a message, comment, or question, and one of us will get back to you with a response. If you're here in person, as I said before the official start of the meeting, we would ask you to fill out a card up front and file it with our town clerk so we can call you during the respective section of the meeting that you'd be interested in addressing the board. As I said, there are 10 public hearings scheduled for this evening. There's a resolution agenda, and then we have the open portion when residents can come forward and address the board on any matters concerning town government or town services that are not on tonight's agenda. So with that, we'll go into the agenda for tonight in the public hearings. In the first public hearing, it's a public hearing on the application of RJP Solutions Corp., Planning Board Job 24-05 AE for the premises identified as Suffolk County Tax Map Number 0100-209-3-8, located on the north side of New York State Route 109, 738 feet west of Glenda Drive, West Babylon.
Evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board. For the record, Joseph F. Bazell. The firm is Bazell, Blander, and Visconti. And we are located at 535 Broad Hollow Road, Suite B4 in Melville. The application concerns a change of zone from Residence A to Industrial G for a property located on Route 109. And it's a house. It is between the West Babylon Library and the No-See Funeral Home. And I will admit, for decades, I have puzzled as to why it is there. It predates zoning. It goes back to a time when 109 was not much more than a dirt trail. Everything around it is commercial, industrial, or multifamily other than the school. This application will bring this property into conformance with the rest of the area and upgrade it to the world today, not the world as it was in the past. The only variance we need is a slight setback for parking against the West Babylon Library.
Great. Any questions from members of the board? Seeing none, are there any interested residents who wish to come forward to address the board on this application? Seeing none, take a motion to close and reserve by Councilman Mineta, seconded by Councilman Martinez. All is in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision
Thank you,
reserved. Thank you. Second public hearing is public hearing on designating the premises known as 354 Comac Road, Deer Park, New York, 11729, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 0100-66-2-19.001, a public nuisance, authorizing the boarding up of said premises and authorizing the town attorney to commence litigation. Based on conversations with the town attorney's office, I'm going to take a motion from Councilman Martinez, second by Councilman McSweeney, to adjourn this hearing until November 14th. That's at 3 p.m.? 3 p.m. All those in favor of the adjournment? Opposed? We'll adjourn that till November 14th at 3 p.m. Third public hearing is a public hearing on designating the premises known as 1501 Straight Path in Wyandanch, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 0100-58-4-16.001, a public nuisance, authorizing the boarding up of said premises and authorizing the town attorney to commence litigation. Going to make a motion to withdraw this, second by Councilman Gregory. I and Deputy Supervisor Martinez met with the owner and his attorney this morning. We believe that they have a game plan. We believe, I will say that in quotations, and they have been served with the first public nuisance notice based on arrests that were made on the property on August 20th, following, ironically, Wyandanch Neighborhood Night Out at the Wyandanch Park. So we're going to see if they comply. As you know, under our law, if you get a second public nuisance notice of violation because of an arrest, that will trigger us to have them come back here. So we're going to withdraw this, and we'll properly notice it if they receive a second arrest. They tell us they will not, second incident of an arrest, but we'll wait and see. So I'll make a motion, second by Councilman Gregory. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That hearing is withdrawn. Public hearing reference to amending the Code of the Town of Babylon, Chapter 15, Department of Public Safety. I don't have any cards, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Gregory, second by Councilman Mineta, to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. Fifth public hearing is public hearing reference to amending Chapter 2, Article 3, Section 2-2 of the Town of Babylon Uniform Code of Traffic Ordinances. I don't have any cards, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Mineta, second by Councilman Martinez, to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. Sixth public hearing is a public hearing reference to amending Chapter 2, Article 4, Section 2-8 of the Town of Babylon Uniform Code of Traffic Ordinances. I don't have any cards, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Martinez, second by Councilman McSweeney, to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. Seventh public hearing is a public hearing reference to amending Chapter 2, Article 4, Section 2-8 of the Town of Babylon Uniform Code of Traffic Ordinances. I don't have any cards, so I'll take a motion from Councilman McSweeney, second by Councilman Gregory, to close and reserve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. Eighth public hearing is public hearing in reference to amending Chapter 2, Article 5, Section 2-10 of the Town of Babylon Uniform Code of Traffic Ordinances. I don't have any cards, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Gregory, second by Councilman Mineta, to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. Ninth public hearing is public hearing in reference to amending Chapter 3, Article 2, Section 3-4 of the Town of Babylon Uniform Code of Traffic Ordinances. I'm sorry, that's Article 3, Section 3-4 of the Town of Babylon Uniform Code of Traffic Ordinances. I don't have any cards, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Mineta, second by Councilman Martinez, to close and reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? Hearing is closed. Decision reserved. 10th public hearing is public hearing in reference to amending Chapter 3, Article 3, Section 3-4 of the Town of Babylon Uniform Code of Traffic Ordinances. I don't have any cards, so I'll take a motion from Councilman Martinez, second by Councilman McSweeney, to close and reserve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The hearing is closed and decision is reserved. Let me just double check to make sure. Okay. That's it for the public hearing, so we'll go to the resolutions. I don't have any cards on the resolutions, so we'll go into the resolution agenda. The consensus resolution agenda, are there any items that need to be removed from the consensus resolution agenda? Seeing none, I'll take a motion.
You make a motion to accept the consensus resolution agenda.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Consensus resolution agenda is adopted as listed. We'll go into today's resolutions, and Resolution 746.
I'll offer Resolution 746.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's approved. Resolution 747.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta.
Yes.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilman McSweeney.
Yes.
Councilman Gregory.
Yes.
Supervisor Schaefer.
Yes, resolution's approved, 5 votes in favor, 0 opposed. Resolution 748.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution's approved. Resolution 749.
I offer Resolution 749.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution's approved. Resolution 750.
I offer 750.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's approved. Resolution 751.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution's approved. Resolution 752.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution's approved. Go to the table resolutions for today. Resolution 672.
I offer 672.
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta.
Abstain.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilman McSweeney.
Yes.
Councilman Gregory.
Yes.
Supervisor Schaefer.
And I abstain. So resolution's adopted, 3 votes in favor, 2 abstention. Resolution 694.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta.
Abstain.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilman McSweeney.
Yes.
Councilman Gregory.
Yes.
Supervisor Schaefer.
And I abstain. Resolution's approved, 3 votes in favor, 2 abstentions. Resolution 695.
I offer Resolution 695.
Second.
Would the clerk call the roll?
Councilman Mineta.
Abstain.
Councilman Martinez.
Yes.
Councilman McSweeney.
Yes.
Councilman Gregory.
Yes.
Supervisor Schaefer.
Abstain. Resolution's approved, 3 votes in favor, 2 abstentions. That's it for the resolution. So we'll go to the open portion to the cards. We have Hyun Kwan. And you could just come forward to the microphone here, right in the center. And when you come forward, just state your name and address. Do you both want to come up together? Sure. So come on up here, but one speak at a time. Yeah, just so the stenographer can get everything. You should hand it up to Jen.
They're all the same? Okay.
Each member has a copy? Oh. Oh, 3, okay, yes. Yep, and we can make copies amongst ourselves. That's, yeah, we have one of those machines. I don't know how to work it, but we have one of those machines. And just state your name and address.
My name is Hae-eun Kwon. The first name, you want me to spell it?
It's Heoeeun?
Yes, last name Kwon.
Kwan, yes.
Yes. I live in 8 Yukon Court, Melville, New York 11747. I'm here to speak to you directly regarding ongoing severe flooding happened over 20 years at the Yukon Court. The severe flooding happened on August 18 through 19 last month. It was a life-threatening. I was here, I don't know if you remember, I was here 2021, 3 years ago, that I complained about same situation, but this time was life-threatening. My neighbor and all my family got evacuated by firefighters. You can take a look. So we live in Yukon Court, which is a downhill cul-de-sac. There's no outlet, and it's just uphill. So wherever water comes, there's no outlet. Next page, there's only one drainage, whole cul-de-sac, downhill. The water comes from all north, straight down.
North of you.
We're living in the lowest the area. We have been complaining that only one small drainage cannot take all the flooding issues. This is a normal rainfall make flooding in front of our house. We lost the basement and cars, 9 cars lost. I lost the basement. My husband, we lost the basement already a few times, leaking, flooding. Last month, the water up to the first floor the last, not this one, the second one, package, the last one, last page. Water came from the front and from back, everywhere. Our house got flooded. There's no way we can see land. So all our neighbors went outside 10 o'clock and starting clean up. It was not enough. We stood outside with severe rainfall for 4 hours. We gave up because it was life-threatening. And water level was up to my chin, and then I gave up. And then I went back to my home. My house got flooding up to the first floor, about 11 feet. My 3 kids upstairs, they're sleeping. I woke them up, and then we got evacuated. We lost everything. No heat water, no electricity, no AC, no hot water. We stood outside more than 2 weeks. It's not first time. 3 years ago that I came here, our house got flooded up to halfway of basement. My kids got trapped there. My husband and doctor, I'm a nurse practitioner. We were working at a hospital to save our community lives, and meanwhile, my kids are in danger at almost electric shock and die. My inspector, my home contractor, ran to my house, and he reactivated some pump, but it didn't work. That's why we are here 3 years ago, because it's a life-threatening and it's a traumatized. Never happened since then. Nothing changed. One drainage, whenever even regular rainfall, we had to take care of the old debris and leaves because it's a covering drainage. It piled up so quickly. Manually, we cleaned all up to uphill. We have been complaining so many times. No one listened. Finally, the town of Babylon started working back in April. Someone listened to my voice, and he came. His name is Kevin O'Neill. He promised that he's gonna install one drainage beside, it's tiny, teeny, and he didn't show up. He just said that he's gonna do it. It was back in April. Never show up. 1 month later, I follow up. He said he's gonna do it. Nope, no. Since 2 months later, I warned him. We are in danger all the time. It's a hurricane season coming up. Please save us, save our lives. And then he installed very tiny beside the original drains. And since then, what happened was, even regular rainfall, it backed up. There's no anything on the drain. It was nice and clean. Now even worse. And that happened last month. All our community, we have been talking to Mr. Vincent. He knows this situation. Mr. Piccoli. So we have been addressing this issue, and he said he's gonna install some drainage because the rainfall, the water was too much, like, the volume of the water and the limitation of capacity of some cannot take care of this amount of water.
Yeah, he told me before the meeting that he met up at the site with some of the homeowners.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
know if.
He told me that, and that we all.
So what he's done is he's ordered the markouts to put 3 drains.
Yeah, but since then, nothing. No one showed up yet.
No, what has to happen is the utilities have to be marked out before they can dig. So
There was 2 weeks before.
Right.
So the gas.
He's ordered them, and he's here. So right after the meeting, we'll be able to speak with him and get more specific information for you.
Sure, we really wanted to know when the project will be done.
Sure.
Well, one more thing. He mentioned that this happened because a limitation of capacity of some. There's a some. You can take a look at these pictures, please.
Yeah, I saw on the map.
So this is a Yukon Court, and below that there is a Hadley
Hadley Court.
Yeah, Hadley Drive some. This is a directly, the drainage goes to this some. And there's two more up there. This is running by Huntington. This is in the middle of the mountain. I found that myself, I visit 3 sums to search what is the current condition. Because he said the Hadley Drive has a limitation of capacity. So the first number 1 is in the middle of the mountain. As you can see, nice and clean. If you cannot see, you can take a look, yours. Nice and clean and very wide. And number 2, run by Huntington, is beside the Bagatelle Road. I can't even go because it's, I can't even go inside, but you
It's
can see.
overgrown.
Yes, but there is only water. There's no bushes, no trees, right? I went to Hadley Drive some. It filled with the bushes, trees, and mud and soil buildup. You can even see where is the drain. Nope. At least 6 feet piled up with mud and soil. That's why the reason why our community got flooded, because there's no space. It's not us. It's not my fault. It's not a fault from sky. It's a poor management by Babylon. That's why we almost lost our lives.
And I'm sorry for that.
No one cover, even home insurance doesn't cover even 1 penny, that we lost almost half of our properties.
Right.
Who's gonna pay for that?
Well, you can file a notice of claim against the town, and
Yes.
we'll make that information available to you.
We try. How many years? They have been living more than 2 years. They lost 9 cars. No one listened. And then they just say that, oh, something wrong with the pipe. They did it nice and clean. This is not. This is the reality.
Yeah, that's what the notice of claim process is for.
Thank you.
Okay?
So if I claim, then what happened? I don't know.
Well, it'll be reviewed by the town attorney's office, and then they'll work with you and your attorney.
Okay. I don't have an attorney yet.
Oh, well, you don't need an attorney. I didn't know if you had an attorney.
Okay.
Yeah, but they'll get you Jerry will make the notice of claim form available to you and
Okay.
explain how it's done.
Beside the claim, please clean up.
Yeah.
Some what is supposed to be.
Yep.
And please install additional drainage, because one drainage cannot take care of the normal rainfall.
Yes.
Because all covered with leaves and debris.
Yep, Mr.
and
Piccoli said he met with you.
Right,
He's assessed the situation.
okay,
They've requested the markouts.
Okay.
Because they cannot dig until they get the markouts.
okay,
The markouts will be done,
okay,
and he's determined that there will be 3 additional drains installed
okay.
on Yukon Court.
It should be normal drains, not baby, like, tiny,
No.
teeny.
He'll be installing 3 normal drains.
Okay,
And then he will make sure that the Hadley Drive sump is maintained properly.
yes.
And he'll also identify any other issues that may be able to help the situation.
Yes, I agree some point today, Mr. Piccoli, because of water, main issue, the water flow from the Bagatelle Road from Huntington and Chateau Drive also run by Huntington. So he pointed at there's a correct, some rain, flow from there. So the Huntington should do like a redirect water flow, because all water everywhere, tons of trees and hills just heading to our court.
Yep, and he'll be able to contact Mr. Sorrentino, who's the
Yes.
highway
I
superintendent
also emailed to him.
for Huntington, right?
Yes. So please, I don't know if you have power or if you have a connection, please speak to him directly.
Well, I'll speak to the town supervisor, Mr. Smith.
Smith? Okay.
No, I'll speak to Mr.
Oh.
Smith. He's the Huntington Town Supervisor.
Please.
Yes. Thank you. And would you like to just state your name and address?
Yes, my name is Prathi Penmaneni. This is my sister Nivi Penmaneni of 10 Yukon Court in Melville, so the house right next to my neighbor. My mother is here as well, and she's the homeowner. And I just want to echo the severity. We have been here for 20 years. And this is not our first flood, but it is the first flood of this kind of magnitude. You know, the first time it happened was in 2007, and that's when my folks did the due diligence to put in French drains, sump pumps, to make sure that this stuff wouldn't happen again. We've never finished our basement because subsequent years have passed by, and every single time there's still flooding that's happening. Again, not to this magnitude, but as my neighbor mentioned, we've lost 9 cars. As she also mentioned, Kevin did come by and do something with the drain, and it made it worse, and the only reason why he came back is because our car flooded again. So within the span of 1 week, I lost 1 car, or it had to go to the shop, and then when this big catastrophe happened, 2 cars were totaled. And it was incredibly dangerous. We had to evacuate. My parents were not young. I have a heart patient. My father is a heart patient. This was extremely terrifying, and I hope you understand that it's going to be really hard to leave the house without looking at the weather, because my sisters and I live nearby, but now it's just constant stress of having to feel like we can't leave our house, we can't park our cars up the driveway. My car flooded in my garage. My basement is decimated, my garage is decimated. Over the years, our backyard has had tons of flooding issues. Water just wouldn't go. And again, it's just cosmetic Band-Aids over, hey, we're cleaning this, hey, we're doing this. But no one really listens, as my neighbor mentioned. And I don't know, are you going to need to see something severe really happen outside of the homes? Like, is life going to be impacted in order for something to change? And it's just, you know, it's really frustrating, it's really concerning. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
Yeah, so my name is Nivi Pinamaneni. I'm a physician, I'm a staff physician at Memorial Sloan Kettering. I wanted to offer just a slightly different perspective. As my sister alluded to, there are medical implications of this. So we again had to emergency evacuate around 2:30, 3 in the morning. My father carries a diagnosis of congestive heart failure and failure to thrive. We had to wade with him in water that came up to my chest at 2:30 in the morning. He is, you know, not in the best of health. He's in critically, you know, ill condition. Thank God the water was warm. If this happened during the winter and we had to wade with him in cold weather, cold water, he might have lost his life. I can only speak as, you know, a physician, and in my profession, if, you know, I understand if this were like an emergency weather situation, we had no preparation and this happened, but again, this issue has been going on for multiple years. You know, if I, as a physician, was told multiple times there was a problem and I failed to address it and kind of kept saying, this is happening, this is going to happen, and it led to something, I would lose my license, I would lose my job, and that would be considered medical negligence. At this point, given the series of events that have happened in the past and in acutely, this is honestly nothing short of negligence at this point. We have done our due diligence. We have tried our very best to be calm and peaceful and understanding of the situation, but we are kind of met with these amorphous deadlines. We are met with, okay, this is happening. Everything, sir, that you said, we have been told, but we don't have the actual dates. We don't have tangible solutions. We are given the runaround. We are told, talk to this person, talk to that person, and we just want a clear, tangible solution that is going to solve this problem, because I do not want to wait till it's 2-degree weather outside and I have to take my father, who will not survive the next trip, and then that is on the town of Babylon. I don't know what else to say at this point or who else to speak to, but this needs to happen yesterday at this point. We are all educated professionals. We are contributing to our community. We are paying taxes. We have been here for so long. The least that Babylon and Huntington can do is make our lives safe. And at this point, we are unsafe. We are unhealthy. The mold, we haven't even touched upon the mold issue that we're dealing with in our house, because the water has been an issue for so many years. We are unhealthy, we are unsafe, and we are scared. You know, we cannot live normal lives. We are fearful every single day of what might happen. I cannot travel with my husband because we can't leave my parents, because I can't leave the country because what if it rains again and I have to run back? This is not a way to live. This is not the way we should be living in the United States in 2024, okay? So I hope you guys understand, and I hope we will get very clear, definitive solutions with a clear kind of date as to when it's going to happen. Appreciate your time.
Vinny, could you come up here for a second, please? So Mr. Piccoli is the DPW commissioner. So Vinny, I'm going to ask you by Friday to have for us a date of the markouts.
Sure.
And request them to get that done. I know it usually takes 4 to 6 weeks.
Markouts will take anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks.
3 to 5 weeks. And then when the drains will be installed.
Okay.
And then a schedule on the cleanup of the Hadley Drive.
We were there on Tuesday to start the cleanup.
Work was started there?
Yep.
Okay, so when would that be finished?
Probably by next week.
Okay, so that will be done, and then it's just a matter of the markouts and then installing the drains?
Yes.
So those drains will be installed by,
Probably, I want to say mid to late October.
okay, so this all should be completed by Halloween?
The mark was done 2 weeks before.
Only gas.
Yeah, only gas.
And you
Yeah.
have to call in for new markouts every time you do a job. You can't use existing markouts.
Right, so you have to have,
So is there any reason that it was postponed or delayed? Because the gas marking was done 2 weeks before, and then
But you
subsequent.
can't use those markouts. When you do a job, every time a contractor does a job, whether there are markouts on the street or not, you have to call in for a new markout.
So the gas
You
marking
cannot
was
use
done.
so,
existing
so
mark.
what he's saying is that, just to answer your question, all of this will be done by Halloween.
But why were those markouts done, and then I think what my neighbor's saying, and then nothing else was done
So
subsequently?
those markouts were done from the utility companies that were looking at the electrical problems that you had, not because we called them in. They were done by the utility companies when that flood happened to determine where their line services were.
So I request call the utility company at the same time, not another time, one another time, because the gas marking were done 2 weeks before, and then he got called another gas marking.
No, when you call a markout in, you call one number, and they notify all the utilities at once. You call a number 311, and that
811.
811, sorry. 811, and that service notifies all of the utilities, gas, electric, telecom, sanitary, all of them.
So
And then they coordinate.
But you've asked for the
markout
date,
together.
so the date will be October
But
31st.
then, the only gas marking were done, that's why I'm.
Well, that doesn't, none of that has anything to do with anything right now. The
Yes.
date in response to her is when will the work be done? So the sump will be done by next week, Hadley Drive.
That's by
Right,
next week,
and then
but
the drains will be installed by October 31st.
And will there be monitoring in between? I know there are hurricanes tracking, and that this is what we're
Sure.
dealing with, you know.
Sure, so I'm going to give you my cell phone number,
Okay,
so you'll speak directly to me going forward.
okay.
And so, Rich, so you know, the board knows as well, we've sent foremen out on rain events to look at this area and assess everything.
Yep, but I'll give you my cell, so if you see weather coming, you can alert me, and then I can alert them, and then
Sure.
that's the way we do it, so you want to write down my cell phone number?
I have, do you want to say it out loud? Do you-
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, it's on the
He
website.
puts it on national TV.
It's on the town website. It's 516-429-3763. So you could text or call.
Perfect. So for your information, that I gathered the all information, is not only second time, it's not only first time flooding. I have a record, all history of flooding our Yukon Court, but unfortunately that we are not able to catch all flooding every time, but the big package that it shows the history of our flooding. So please take a look, it's not only one time.
Yes, we will. And Jerry will get you the notice of claim documentation that you need.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I have Richard Cartwright. And just state your name and address for the record, sir.
My name is Richard Cartwright. I live at 235 Boundary Avenue, Staten Island, New York. My brother told me that there was supposed to be a meeting today. I was supposed to show up. It's about getting the boards taken off my house now, so I can get in there and clean it out.
There's nothing on the agenda for today.
Yeah, I understand that. I don't know why the attorney said.
Well, you said we're supposed to be here today.
I'm sorry,
So-
who's the attorney?
Sean,
Are you Sean Dixon?
that's my brother,
Oh, what's his name?
Stephen.
Stephen Cartwright.
Correct.
Oh, Stephen Cartwright. We know Stephen, that's right, yes. This is Nichols Road.
Correct.
Ah, yes. You'll speak to the town attorney, but there's nothing on the agenda for today.
Well, since I'm here, can we not talk about this?
There's nothing to talk about. It's in litigation. You have
Well,
your- your-
I'm sorry to interrupt, but my
your bro-
understanding was that...
Up. Your brother's represented by counsel.
Okay,
There's nothing for us to talk about because there's nothing on the agenda.
gotcha.
And if you wish to deal with this, you'll deal with the town attorney's office.
When would I do that?
You could do it right after the meeting.
Thank you kindly.
Okay, anybody else wish to address the board? No? Yes, sir. Just come forward and state your name and address.
Tori Kaboda.
No, you have to state your name.
Bogdan Lengevich.
Right, what is today, the 18th?
What?
The full moon was yesterday, right? All right, go ahead.
First of all, I live the 3 Tori Kaboda
Yes.
Avenue, Kopek.
Yep.
I received the key from the owner of the house. I have the permission for everything.
So
I
you can
received-
speak to the town attorney's office also, okay?
What name is it?
Mr. Wilson will speak to you, okay?
This not the person.
Mr. Guarino,
Wilson?
you've spoken.
Wilson?
Well, this is Mr. Wilson,
Okay, and this is
and you've
your-
already spoken to many other people in town hall. You've left me numerous messages on my cell phone, and you've been told that you need to speak to the town attorney's office, okay? So do you have any other questions or comments tonight?
Yeah.
What do you have?
Why nobody come clean this the problem 320 Kaboda Avenue? The person who give the problem from 3 Tori Kaboda. 4 inspectors come and tell today we come clean your yard. From little conversation with some lawyer who not represent the people. The people jump, the town inspectors with the cars jump to me and rub me like I'm, nobody. Rub me with everything.
You'll speak to Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
and you can talk to him after the meeting, okay?
Okay, but I received the.
You can speak to Mr. Wilson
But
after
I see you first time 2019 March 12th. You helped me with the inspector inspect the house. Like last year I have the problem with the court. I need the whole file. Whatever the inspector name is, Sylvia Calvaron.
Correct.
She come, she make the pictures, everything. She wanna close the house. I say, please, give me 2 weeks. She give me the little more. I clean everything. I prepare this house is for you, for
Mr. Bogdan.
reuse.
Mr. Bogdan,
Yeah.
speak to Mr. Wilson after the meeting, okay?
Nice meet you.
Thank you,
From 19 to 2019, from March 12th.
Thank you, sir. Okay, is there anybody else? Mr. Wilson will speak to you. We have to adjourn the meeting. Give us 1 second.
Okay.
I have to ask if anyone else wishes to speak. Anybody else? Seeing none, take motion to adjourn from Councilman Gregory, second by Councilman McSweeney. All those in favor? Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.